This is David with High Performance Stoicism. I want to talk to you about the following recommendation from the Stoics. Stoics, get in shape, exercise, work on your body, and get it into excellent shape. Why? Well, there are a number of reasons for this, but the first reason is, according to the Stoics, your soul or your mind and your body, these are two distinct things, but they interpenetrate one another. That means if there's something weak about your mind, then that's going to impact your body. And if there's something wrong with your body, that will impact your mind. That will hinder what you can do, what kind of actions you can take. Now, a large part of Stoicism is changing the way you see things over time. I call this perspective shaping. And the kind of perspective you want has to match what reality really is like. And that's going to enable you to do much better things in life. It's going to enable you to have more guts, take better action, perform better, be more self-controlled, and so forth. So there is a great deal to Stoic practices that involves changing how you see things, changing how you think. But Stoicism is also a philosophy of action, and virtue actually is an active thing. It's not a passive thing. And the Stoics back this up by Seneca saying, the wise man is always in action. And a large part of what you're going to do in action involves your body. Now, Musonius Rufus says there are two kinds of practices that are going to move you toward virtue. There are some that are of the soul alone, and I just mentioned those, and there are some that involve body and soul. And here's a great quote from Musonius Rufus that captures some of the things you have to do in order to become a virtuous person and to improve your life in the near future. And these are disciplines that are familiar to a lot of people, but just keep in mind, we're disciplining both our mind and our body here. So here's what Musonius Rufus says. We train ourselves in soul and body when we discipline ourselves to cold, heat, thirst, hunger, meager rations, hard beds, avoidance of pleasures, patience under suffering. So we're treating both of them there, and think about what we started with. If you are in better shape, you will be able to endure all these things better. You will endure them in a more rational, more graceful, more noble way. So that's going to be another reason why you want to work on your body, why you want to start exercising more. And let's talk about their theory of how you get in shape. And here's an interesting parallel, which many people don't know about, but the Stoics cover it, and I believe this is incredibly important. I'm going to use a term that comes from Fitness Today, and this is what you'll find in a textbook. This is what a trainer at the gym will tell you. What makes you stronger? What makes you able to have endurance? The answer is simple from a physical standpoint: time under tension. In other words, it's not just the movement you make, it's not just how many weights you have on it, it's not just your reps, it's also the time under tension. In other words, if you can do 10 pull-ups, but you do 5 slower ones, you could still have the same time under tension, and that could be an equally powerful set of reps. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The Stoics believe this is how you become courageous. I've talked about how one thing you're doing consistently is reshaping your perspective according to the Stoic worldview so that you start to believe things like, Some things are up to me, some things are not up to me. I am a part of a divine cosmos. The seeds of virtue are within me. I am going to die. These are a number of the things that you're using as proofs of reality, Stoic truths, to reshape your perspective. But here's where it gets really interesting. These alone will not make you a virtuous person, because what really makes you virtuous is getting yourself in situations that involve, yes, time under tension. In other words, the things that are going on in your life today, you're going to work, you're feeling stress. If you can become calm and rational in that situation, you are building your soul in order to be patient, strong, and courageous. When events happen in life that are horrible, such as someone breaks up with you, someone dumps you, and you feel like you're left in the dust, if you can bear it nobly and remain rational throughout the period of pain after a breakup, then you are building your psyche to become courageous. These are situations of time under tension, too. So that's what reshapes your soul in order to become a virtuous person. And note, in a lot of these cases, when you have to rely on your guts, rely on the seed of courage within you, when someone dumps you, when divorce papers are filed, and you keep your head, it is not just a toll on your soul, but it's a toll on your body. So if you are in excellent shape, it's going to be less of a toll on you, and then you'll be much more able to pass with flying colors this particular test of life. Now let's go back to your workout to give you a couple ideas about how to approach your workouts when you see this is part of not only building your body, but building your soul, and especially for endurance. What you want to do is the following. If you are not working out at all, my recommendation for you is start with small. This is a principle that the Stoics understood very well. Start with walking, let's say, just a half hour a day. Take your phone, put it on for 15 minutes, and then when the alarm goes off, just turn around and go home. Take it easy. Just keep it up. Every time you do this, you're building your self-control. You're building your endurance, which is the key to becoming courageous. Now, for people that are more advanced in physical fitness, my recommendation for you is at some point in your workout, at some point let's say you have 3 sets of pull-ups, 3 sets of push-ups, at some point, push yourself beyond what you can do. Build your endurance physically, and then at that same time, what are you doing? You're building the endurance of your soul. You're making yourself more capable of being courageous the more you do this. So those are some of my tips, but the main tip is get in shape. That's it for today. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.